What up, everybody? Pre-show. AJ is going to be back here, 18th visit. So get ready for some energy, pop juice, and, maybe between scene cursing, because we could both lay it down like two sailors could. Angela's, because Angela's, she's, why does my thing not? God dang it. Sorry, guys, my phone. I get these. Oh, there it is. Turn it down. Okay. Hey, recording my stuff. So, are you finding your virtual background? So anytime that we do these shows, you guys, we backgrounds that we put behind us because it helps us with knowing what the hell you're looking at.
There we go.
Angela, I do this all the time, and so this is not that unusual where I help one of our guests, kind of figure out a background of this thing. But Angela, what I was going to say is the previous episode, you guys, was titled Everyday Wisdom. And I pulled some notes, just some key words out of that. So I can play with this because I'm calling this one just Live. And the points that I'm going to pull out, which Angela does not know that yet, because that's how we do things. We're very spontaneous. We don't really we might have a few bullets that I'll ask a guest for, and we know to kind of frame this around. As you guys know, I might have talked about this in the past. And if you're hearing me repeat, so sorry. I do that a lot. But we will kind of go through these things and just let her. Here you go. That looks kind of cool.
But why is it mirror my?
Okay, that image looks kind of cool.
Yeah, but is it backwards to you?
It's just you. It's just the picture, so you're not in it. So that needs to be a. Let me see. There you are, but you're like a ghost.
I think it's because of the lighting in my window.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Can you close that lighting?
I live on a lake. It's
there you go. There you go.
Come forward here just a little bit.
See, that's because of the virtual background, Angela. There you go. You just look a little light. If you can scooch a little forward. Can you see there you go. So you're pretty good there, right about there. Whatever that image where you hit a certain spot and you look perfect, right?
I'm going to have fun with this.
You can see yourself, aren't you? You know what?
Yeah.
We're recording this anyways, you guys. I hope you enjoy this because this is how we do this show. It is just like a riot because we just half the time we're just dicking around and just having fun. And that's the whole thing about part of the problem with the world nowadays. And Angela Joseph will be here in a second to tell us. She will completely agree with me on this one. We're not having enough fun. God dang it. We got to have more fun. People are so damn stressed out. It's like, fuck. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me start this session. We'll get going here. Your level's good. You look great. That'll be fine. Here we go.
You're kind. I feel like today was very unprepared, and it's all good. This is how we roll.
Yeah, well, partially I own part of that because of the not sending you an update. I should have sent you the
Zoom good. Thing.
Yeah, okay.
All good.
Here we go. Let me get my card here. Dun, dun, dun. Let's rock this bad mofo. Let me minimize this and hit this, and away we go.
We'll have to say that this background too is just
Hold on. We're recording.
Okay.
Mitch will have to edit that out. I'll give him a note on that. Welcome, everybody. Last week, Bianca Guest was here for her first visit. Called that one the Fitness Authority. She is a up-and-coming rock star, even though she's been in the fitness industry for a long time. with her new role at Michigan State University, which I'm excited to help promote all of these courses and people, getting whatever they need as far as group fitness. She is the person at Michigan State University who's going to be coordinating a lot of that. And I'm going to help as much as I can in whatever aspect they need help in, probably just doing some of this kind of marketing stuff. So that was that. And that was an excellent episode. All right, Angela Joseph, what can I say? I mean, do I go down the bio? No, I'm not going to do it because she's been here. This is her 18th visit. You can go back and you can check out our fitness and nutrition or our mental health advocates, because all of her episodes, just type in her name in the search box and you're going to find all of her episodes to the Tom Edge Show over the last several years. What I'm going to do today, we're going to call this one Live, because I'm piggybacking off of last episode when she was here about 5 months ago. And we were talking about everyday wisdom, and I pulled through some notes, and there's some key words in there that I want to expand on with Angela. So she has no idea where I'm going with this thing, and we're going to pull it. So here we go. I want to welcome back my sister from another mister, Angela Joseph. How do you like that one?
I like it. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm so glad we figured this out.
I am so sorry for the confusion. I try really hard, everybody, to make this as seamless as possible, and we do a pretty good job, basically. But I did get to see Angela today, so that was really kind of cool and a surprise. So I was glad to see you, hon.
Me
it's like,
too. Me
it's all good.
too.
We
I got a good giggle out of it.
We got to do more of that. Just seeing each other. And that's the thing about face to face. First off, I'm going to write that down because I want to come back to face-to-face communication. But before we do that, let's talk about you and, family time. This is your lifetime. Go ahead. Tell everybody what the heck's been going on, and let's rock this bad boy. Calling this one Live with AJ. Go ahead.
What's been going on with me? Just living, loving, learning, still doing the same old, and enjoying every day and staying focused on the good while in this wild world that now trying to help as many people as I can find that space of peace too.
Are you finding space for helping all those people? Are you finding space to help yourself?
Oh, you know what? I can't help anybody if I'm not taking care of myself. I have radical boundaries around my self-care.
You know what? Let's talk about that a little bit here, because I don't think people understand your level of commitment to this. I completely, me, it's sharpening the saw. As I'm growing older, everyone, I have to get more aggressive, even though I'm slower with training and doing this thing, but more aggressive with staying on all of the simple things, the ESPM, eat, sleep, poop, move, all of those. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got to have boundaries, and you got to have defined goals. Talk about that, please.
Well, I mean, it just comes down to, and I think everybody's different. One of the things that I do with people is help them figure out the potential they're looking for, the experience they want to have, and then how is it that you set the day-to-day life around what that goal is. And you have to be incredibly realistic. I don't believe in sprints to hit big goals. I believe in marathons. And I don't think it's a situation where you set up unrealistic expectations. For me, really great self-care, self-love, which creates and cultivates self-worth and self-value, is being patient with yourself, being consistent, staying congruent with what it is that you want to experience. And that takes time. And it's all about habits. It's all about ritual. It's all about routine. And so for me, what I've learned, I just had my birthday last week. I turned 48.
Happy birthday. I'm sorry I missed that.
Oh my gosh, it's okay. Life goes on, right? It's a day. It's just, for me, it's shifted for me, because for me, I feel so grateful. This is another 365-day, cycle I get to once again step into something new or something I'm working on. But I tell people all the time, if you're not willing to say no to things as much as you're going to say yes to things, you're likely going to feel like you're living somebody else's life. You're going to feel like you're losing control of the experience that you want to have. and you're going to burn out. So self-care to me is that I even get to a point some days where I say radical. I prefer the word radical. I always like to keep it positive, but I'm even at a point with clients where I'm like, you have to have militant self-care right now. Right now, the world we're in, it is the utmost importance for me that the potential you're looking for is mental, spiritual, and physical health. You have to be aligned with yourself. You have to be aligned with what you know is real. You have to be aligned with what you know is worthy, because if you don't right now, there are so many narratives out here and so many other people who are not in that. It's easy to catch a wave that is not building the life that you deserve, want, and wish to experience.
That was one of the best rants I've had in a long time. And I'm so glad that I've got that completely recorded, because that's what we do here is we just want to get down to the nitty gritty. And I don't know anybody that is more nittier or grittier. AJ herself, Angela Joseph, is with us, and Angela's got a very diversified background. I didn't even do her bio because she's been on the show so many times. All right, let me run through some of these, because you just said, you just added about 4 more points to my conversation today, which always happens. Oh, gosh, where do I start? Militant self-care. It's like awesome. Absolutely. If you don't make a decision to, and again, we're not trying to be confrontational here, but like, if you don't have the warrior mindset, if you are not a militant self-care person, if you're not buying into this, then you might get lucky. You might. I'm not saying there's no,
but I don't like that word. I don't even like that word, right? And I know, like you saying that, it's an invitation. I don't run off luck. I don't believe in luck. I believe in potential, and I believe in opportunities that present from the state of mind and the energy that you're putting out into the world.
You know what I was saying, though? You know what I was saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's where people go, AJ.
I
people
agree.
go there with this. Well, I'm the exception.
Yeah, I believe me. I believe me.
Have you heard that? Have you heard that?
Oh my gosh.
A little bit in your, well, I know the statistics say it's 90%, but I'm going to be the 10%. And it's like,
Tom, the 10% are the ones who aren't catching this low vibe energy on this planet right now. The 10%, we're not talking about wealth and money. We're talking about wealth and health. We're talking about the people who are choosing to stay focused on what they can control, what they can grow, what they can do right now in times that can feel scary, can feel unsure, can feel shaky. What can you do right now? What is something that you can put all of your attention into and know that it is going to create an experience of something worthy, whatever that is for you, right?
Okay, hold on. Because you are just on fire, and I'm going to take this through, because I got a little bit, I want to set all this up here, because what Angela just said, choosing to stay focused in the what, that leads right into the points I was saying earlier in this segment, you guys, with the points I pulled from her previous episode, which, because each of these episodes, Angela and I could talk for hours. We have done it. It's like, because we're so focused on this issue and helping people get better and just standing up. Absolutely. And that's why during breaks, that's why you want to watch the videos, because that's when you get between scene stuff. And that's when we start dropping like nuclear F-bombs and everything else. And it's hilarious. It's like my hashtag dad talk. All right, let me leave it there. AJ's here calling this one Live the Tom Ed Show. So freaking great. Okay, let me talk to the camera for a second here, because Angela came in. I was remiss in getting the my invitation out to her. So she showed up at the house. So you guys get behind the scenes stuff, because I just promise you're going to get behind the scenes stuff if you watch the video. So this is what happens, and this is how we got to stay coordinated and how we got to keep our energy focused. So Angela showed up over here because we always used to record face to face because she's local, and we will be doing more of that soon. And we talked about a little plan we're going to have with some live streaming that's coming down the road. And then you can ask questions during a live stream and Angela will be here and we'll kill it. Anyways, so that's what happened. She had to go back. And so we're a little, but that's what happens with, and this is why we got to have what she was saying with the militant self-care and warrior mindset. You guys, let's get down and get busy here. All right, Angela, that was me just doing a rant to the camera. Let me, I'm telling you, what we're doing is good stuff, and it's all good. And I am just like, having people like you in my life validates my life. And that's it.
I fully agree, Tom. I have the same exact feelings.
I know you do. And it's like, it's so awesome. So that's the whole thing. Here we go. This segment of Tom Matt Show is sponsored by Craig Styles, Merit Prize, Kingpin. He's our guy. Craig, he's our guy. Complete honesty, complete forthwithness, complete. Got to tell you the whole story. All of our retirement zone savings are with Craig and Ameriprise. Craig has been helping us for a long time, along with Brock, and things are happening very, very well. Craig Styles is the guy that we hand over that heavy lifting of that financial fitness stuff, and you can find a lot of financial fitness information on our website under financial fitness, where there's about 27 shows of Craig. Put him in there, see if he can help you out. Call Craig 1-800-528-1355, local 517-483-4893, craig.styles@ampf.com. Hit our website, tommattshow.com, bottom of that homepage, and that's where the banners for Craig, Brock, that's where they're at. Okay, that's why we do that. Stations carrying us in the past all over the state. Some still do, some don't. That's what syndicated radio is crazy. It's all good. I'm grateful to any station that's ever carried us for one episode, and I will mention their call letters. WGHN 92.1 FM on the lakeshore of Lake Michigan and Grand Haven, Michigan's the bomb. I mean, the bomb. WJM 1240 AM in Lansing. They're awesome. Town Square Media. Love you guys. Steve and Ivy putting us on the syndication, the flagship of the Michigan Talk Network, which is pretty darn large. WJRW 1340 AM in Grand Rapids, WKLQ 1490 and Muskegon, Whitehall, WYPV FM 94.5 Mackinac City. See, we're all over the place. And then, of course, at the big PBS affiliate at Michigan State University, WKAR AM 870, 102.3 FM. Craig Styles, thank you for creating Decidary Analytics, where I know my money is safe and he's making wise decisions because of his proprietary algorithm. Decidary Analytics, that's what we call it. Steve and Ivy want to say thank you again to you guys. And lastly, got 4 books over there on Amazon. Please go for it. Check them out. Help us out. That'd be great. Angela Joseph is here. Life is getting very... well, it's been getting this way for a while, but and I'm not trying to insult anyone out there, all this proper, all this, but militant self-care, warrior mindset, we mean that in 150% positive way, period. Okay. Really? Mental, physical, spiritual. All right. Angela doesn't have any idea where I'm going with this, pulling these notes out of last episode because it's just strong every time. This first one, double started, relationship with self. And I'm just going to shoot these to you and you just go on your rant because I know you're capable. So what were you talking about? How are you feeling about that? What do people need to know? There you go.
Well, I would think right now too, and I shouldn't even say right now, because through life, the first relationship and the most important relationship is your relationship with self. For me, secondly, it's God. And I am going to say that's a conversation I'm comfortable with. Saying that, for me, When you have a relationship with yourself, you're able to feel into then what other sorts of relationships you would want to attract, be with, and connect to. Now, that's on a side note, but I think it's very important because a lot of people think that when people talk about self-love or relationship with self, that it's like you're all of a sudden stating this righteous attitude, or you don't have room for anybody else, or you think you're better than other people. You could not be further from the truth. And actually, most of the people I think that cultivate a real relationship with themselves are people that have felt really lost, and almost like they're trying to grab onto other things to make themselves feel whole, when in reality, when we begin to do the work and we begin to recognize the investment in the way that we take care of ourselves, relate to self, we find that we end up in a space of much more positivity, much more patience, much more tolerance with the people around us, the world around us. And we begin to pay more attention to how we're feeling and experiencing the world within on every level. Relationship with self means looking at the way that you consider yourself worthy of all the things that you desire. Good foods versus bad foods, good relationships versus bad relationships, a healthy body versus possibly an unwell body, a connection to a divine greater presence versus none. You looking outside for somebody to tell you how you should feel or what you should experience versus let me go inside and create this relationship with myself so I can trust myself to know when something feels right or wrong with me. I could expand so deeply on this. And I'll tell you, to myself, I mean, I coach this, I live this, and I'm still cultivating a relationship with myself every single day. Am I worthy of the goals and the dreams I have? And am I willing to show up every day for myself the way I'm willing to show up for my clients, the way I'm willing to show up for my partner, the way I'm willing to show up for my friends, right? And then I'm incredibly different in the way that I cultivate and hold friendships, relationships, client relationships, because I'm a little bit more picky about the people that I let into my world, about the clients I choose to work with. Like, I want to make sure it's a good fit for everybody. But the greatest thing I've done in my life was cultivate a true relationship with myself, that I respect myself, I take care of myself, I hold myself responsible, I hold myself accountable, and I also trust that I am worthy of sharing those vulnerabilities and parts of myself with other people, right? Without allowing myself to lose myself in connection in relation to others. And I think it's a big thing. And it's funny, I chose the screen behind me in a quick fashion, confidence without ego, you know, I'm absolutely that. And that's the other thing I would say too. Ego is healthy, right? When we have cultivated a relationship to self, to know, am I functioning in the world from a space of righteous ego, or am I functioning in the world of a space of a healthy self ego, which would mean the way that you see yourself and your worthiness in the world. But ultimately, I think self-worth and a relationship to self is, and I need to be very careful about verbiage we use, as part of the issue out here in the world where people are so lost. They have no awareness of who they are. They have no awareness of what's important to them. They have no awareness of what would make them feel better. So one of my missions in life is to help people fall in love with themselves, and to truly find how amazing they are and how much they can trust themselves and continue to build a life that feels good to them.
I'm going to give you a long pause here for a second, everybody, just for impact. That was 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes of me not saying a word because I was so dialed in with what Angela was saying and eating it up. And I hope you were eating it up too, because that was pure fire. That was pure energy. That was pure truth right there. We're going to come back, talk some more about this, because I knew that's why I double started this. I knew that relationship with self is something we need to discuss. It's like, how did we find ourselves here? Oh, and she had no idea where I was going with this, you guys. So stick around, because we're going to jump out for a second. Calling this one Live with AJ, my sister from another mister. Angel Joseph. She's rock star. Tom Matt Show.
You're always so good to me, Tom.
You're the bomb. There's just no, it's easy. And that's why I love doing this job. And it's like, we each have our little mechanisms to getting this done. Let's just roll. Let's just go. This is all. That's why I enjoy it. It's like we'll talk. Here we go. We could talk for hours during break, or we could get on with this radio show recording. Segment 3 of the Tom Matt Show is sponsored by Sandra Matt at the moment. And that's the truth, because it's all about our website, tommattshow.com, and how you want to connect with us. Sandy has become much more involved with so many of the business aspects of what we do, because our business is growing and our digital presence is becoming more and more profound. And we want you to come and find things. We want to make things nice. And I need people like an Angela Joseph, our guest today, to be here to bring fire and brimstone. And then we work behind the scenes to get things going for you. So, our mission is the 3 C's: community, collaboration, cooperation. 3 C's. The Refirement Zone is all about it. The Refirement Zone was born in Lansing, Michigan. It resides in Lansing, Michigan. We go to Wisconsin once in a while, go see kids. It's all good. Our YouTube presence has grown like crazy. Our TikTok thing is ticking and talking away, and it's pretty sweet. And it's like, because I was never going to do it, frankly. So Papa T, you want to look up it, just go Papa T, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, whatever's your mode, hit us on those platforms. But the website's the spot. The website is the home run. That's where you get everything. And you can hit the contact box there and just send us a note and say, yeah, I'd like to hear more from Angela on this topic. And I'll put you in touch with Angela, or we'll ask her the question when she comes back, because we got big plans, baby. Things are going. Being an overnight success after about 14 years of doing this, yeah, I'll take it, because you got to get reps and you got to stay busy, and timing's got to be right. And that's where we go. Live. Angela Joseph's with us. Let's step back into that time machine like we just did about 3 or 4 minutes ago, where you just went on about a 6-minute, just straight fire and brimstone rant. It was so awesome. If you guys missed that, go back to the podcast and get that, because I didn't say a word, not one word. And that's hard for, me, you guys, that's hard for me to stop talking. Look I just talked for like 2.5 minutes. I want to get her back. All right. So relationship with self, you said so many excellent things. I'm going to add this. This is another bullet to feed off of relationship with self, because all of these things build upon each other. And these are from our notes from the last episode, you guys, in case you're wondering where's Tom getting this material from. Knowing your value. Ooh, it's all you. Go ahead.
That's a deep one, because I would also tell you, when I begin to work with people, one of the things, it's why it came up for me, because I've become aware of how many people don't know what their values are. They don't even know what they care about more than another thing, right? Like it's bizarre on so many levels. And I do put a lot of it to social media and this whole dystopia we're in of like being an influencer and being influenced and worrying more about what other people think, or what other people are going to think of you if you do this or do that. So going back into self-value and knowing what you value in this world is what allows you to then really set a trajectory and stay committed to a clear goal. Because if you don't know what you value, and you don't have your values in alignment with where you're headed, you don't know what to say yes or no to. And let me tell you, there's a lot of opportunist energy out here that will present so many things to you. And this is kind of a short and dense version, which I could go really deep and down a rabbit hole of the way that things are presented to us. And I feel the universe does often, especially when we get really committed into doing something, we get tests, Matt. We literally do. It's like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to commit, and we'll get really excited about something. And then all of a sudden, universally, or even like a self-screening sabotage that happens, where subliminally, subconsciously, we begin to see things that are like, oh, but that's really good. And it's a flashy trigger that may bring up some lower than ideal old parts of self that want to jump in and grab onto something that's no longer aligned with you, right? And so again, it's a tangent story, but it's true. When you know what you value and you know how it is you're moving forward in your life, you're able to truly be able to align and say yes or no with much greater conviction. And I am a human. I'm incredibly Saturnian this way, which just means I'm very much into discipline. I'm very much into rhythms. I'm very much into routine. And for me, I'm sorry, I don't know any successful human that does not live by that. Okay. So again, that's not.
Hold on. I gotta, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, and I'm listening. I'm in on this, but I gotta say you're 100%. I agree with you 100% on that. With the discipline, with the successful people, I just wanted to add that. I'm jumping out. Go ahead, continue, please.
Yeah, I've yet to ever meet anybody where a successful, fruitful life has come from them just showing up, right? Because I'm so amazing and I'm so lucky and it's all going to come to me. It takes work, it takes commitment, it takes consistency, it takes gusto, it takes working through the hard times, it takes being willing to be wrong about things, it takes willing to learn and to get back up every single time. When you know your values and you know your goal, those things are worthy, right? You pat yourself on the back after you say no to something. It's like, oh my gosh. And you feel good. And then it sets you even stronger onto the alignment of where you really want your world to be. And that works for all of life, you know?
That's why small wins are so important.
Absolutely. And I think you have to look at a long term window. And when you do that, you have to know your value. You have to know what's adding to it and what's not. And you have to be willing. You have to be willing to turn down short-term successes or short-term wins, recognizing that, okay, those things may make me feel good, right? And then we get into a whole nother conversation about following what feels good versus following what you're committed to and what you're working towards, right? Because for years, even in my 20s and things, it was all about what felt good, right? And that was easy in my 20s, early 30s. And now, what feels good isn't always what I want to attach onto. So it's about knowing value, adding that in with the way that you want to feel. I also think there's value in knowing how you want to feel in life. So if you value fun, that's one thing. Okay. If you value stability, that's another thing. Yep. If you value health, that's another thing. So it's really coming into awareness of like, what is it that brings value to my world, and then building your daily habits, routines, rhythms around that.
Yes, I agree 100%. I will probably bring up here, because Angela's talked a lot. Angela Joseph's with us, everybody, calling this one Live. We're kind of circling back from last episode when she was here, and that was prior to my dad's passing as well. And so this past summer for us has been a real challenge, but we are weathering the storm, because I could read off a litany of what Angela just said to keep us stable. First, it was just cultivating love of ourselves. When I do that and give to myself, it made me resilient during that really hard time, because when these kind of things happen, you guys, believe me, they happen. And then you got to be resilient, and you got to be ready, and you got to find people like Angela to listen to, living, loving, learning. We're going to come back. We're going to go to break here. I'm carrying this thing through. I've got a new model that I'm going to bring up with Angela, which works in conjunction with her goals. She does not know what this, I haven't even told her what this is, because it's brand new. I've been using it with a few people, but I'm calling it the Prime Objective, and it fits perfectly with her goals and so when we come back here in just a minute, I'm going to lay this thing out for her, and I'm going to let her riff on this thing, maybe the rest of the show, because it really does come back to what she was saying with relationship with self. And if you need to nurture a relationship with yourself, the Prime Objective, if that's the goal, then the Prime Objective is you're going to understand what I'm talking about here. And I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to let Angela tell you, because she's going to eat this thing up. And she has no idea what this is. She has never heard this before from me. whatsoever. That's what makes it so cool when we do this radio program. Let her catch her breath, because she's had like 2 massive rants and it's been awesome. We're gonna go to break.
You said
Hold
something.
on.
I'm just gonna say this.
Hold on. Hold on. We're gonna go to break here. I gotta cut
Okay.
it short here. Please hold your thought. Angela Joseph, live Tom Matt Show. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No. I just
Keep-
wanted to say to you, and I'll say it here then, because then if people want to hear it and whatever. And you know what, Tom?
We're
You and
recording
I could
video
do,
right now, anyways. But
okay.
yeah. So
You and I could do a full program on resilience.
oh yeah,
Just resilience.
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do my read for Brock, and then we'll jump in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
into this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, we're making great time, and so
Oh, Tom, you and I, this is what we do. So yeah, no.
exactly. Here we go. Where's my Brock? There's my Brock read. Brock. Love Brock. 4th segment of the Tom Matt Show is sponsored by Craig Styles. Sandra Matt. What the fuck just happened? Okay. My cursor got goofed up. Okay, he's gonna have to fix that. Here we go. Sorry, I had it in the wrong spot and I clicked on it and then.
Hold on, sweetie.
Here we go. 4th segment of the Tom Matt Show is sponsored by Brock. If I can ever get my technical issues going here, which just happens all the time. Brock is our guy. Again, full disclosure, like I said with Craig, we use both of our sponsors. We use their services. We love our guys. They're just the best. Brock, big household, little house Lansing, selling team of Keller Williams Realty. It's all about trust. When we talk with Angela, it's all about trust. Please call Brock today. Got a couple of numbers coming at you, everybody. 517-853-6408 or 517-303-3262. Got that one there? Online, kwsellingteam.com. Again, like I said earlier, the easiest thing to do is go to our website and go to the bottom of that homepage, and right there's this banner for Craig and Brock, and click on either one if you need help on those. Go to our website and also click on Reality of Real Estate, Financial Fitness. Both of those rock stars are there, and you can pick up all of those. If you've got questions specifically that you might want to search, just look at the titles, and I try to make it searchable that way so that if you're looking for something specific, like, we talk about interest rates or we talk about money financing or whatever, supplies, you name it. If it comes to real estate, Reality of Real Estate, we got so much good information over there. Please go there and check that out. Most agents spend an average of, $400 a month on advertising to promote your sales. Brock spends thousands. Because he's proactive. Leave him a message again. 517-303-3262. Text him. He changes his voicemail every day. He will call you back. He will text you back. His website's amazing. Go there, kwsellingteam.com. That's Brock Fletcher. We love you, Brock. Thank you so much for helping us. Angela Joseph is here. I'm throwing curveballs left and right, knuckleballs, fastballs, change-ups. All right, so Angela has said a couple of times during this episode, you guys, and especially if you're just joining us, please go back and get the rest of the podcast. But Angela said the word goal several times, and that's kind of right her thing. I came up with this new model that I'm working with some people that I'm coaching virtually. I call it the prime objective. The prime objective, everybody, goes like this. This first time I put it out, and I want people to use this because it's like open source material where it's just so good. You got to share it. The prime objective fits Angela's goals. Okay. What the prime objective is, Angela, is stepping it back, it's very simple, just stepping it back, stepping it back, stepping it back. You have your goal way out here, everybody. You're way out forward. That's the thing. But what is it that's enabling us to get there? What are the small things that are going to help us achieve that? What are the prime objectives? Because the prime objectives feed right into alignment, as Angela said, to getting to the goal. The key thing is if it doesn't fit into that alignment, it's out. Okay. Simple. So it makes it really easy. So when I go to like student I'm coaching right now, talked to her the other night. I said, what's the prime? Graduate. Exactly. Get on with it. Get to work. Do the thing. Break it down. All right. That's about as far as I can want to go because I want to get your feedback on that. And we'll go the rest of the show and talking about the prime objective and goals. What do you think about that? You step it back, step it back, step it back, step it back. You get down to 1, 2, maybe 3 things. Mostly it's going to be 1 or 2 things that are going to get you to that, start that momentum. What are they? What do you think about that?
Well, I would tell you it's an interesting thing. So I used to work from a model. This was much more around life coaching and spiritual coaching, which I still do. I like to do a full model though, full spectrum per se, but I used to talk a lot, which I still do. I love what you're saying was what's the feeling you want to experience in life? What's the feeling? Because a lot of people don't have goals like you or I have, and that's okay, right? In the
Right.
beginning, it's okay. I just know I want to get better. I know I want to feel better. I know I want to create a better life. Okay, what is that like? Well, I want to lose weight. It's not that you want to lose weight. What is losing weight going to do for you? Well, it's going to make me feel good. It's going to make me feel healthier. Da, da, da. Oh, okay. So you want to feel healthy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's talk about the feeling of healthy. What does that feel like? Well, I don't know. I don't think I have it. Okay. So let me share for you what I think healthy feels like, right? It's
Right.
going to take discipline. You're going to feel vibrant. You're going to wake up in the morning excited to work out, knowing that you're taking care of your body. You're going to feel great knowing you have relationships in your life that support you, that want you to feel as good too, because that's healthy. That's healthy, right?
Right.
You're going to feel like you're in control of your health in your day because you're no longer, dependent on whether it's medication, whether it's another human, whatever it may be, right?
Right.
So let's focus on what it feels like to feel in control and alive and open and energetic. And let's say no then to anything that we learned through this process together does not aid in that feeling. So I
Exactly.
used to that used to be like prime objective, right? On some level.
Yep.
Now when I'm working with clients, there's definitely you know me. It's hard to put a pin on what I do. Because as an intuit, I'm able to meet people where they are, right? It's just if it's in alignment, I work from that. If I'm not in alignment with you, I'm not going to take your money. I'm going to tell you there's somebody else for you, right? That's part of my prime goal in my world is that I know I can help somebody. I'm not going to take somebody's money if it's going to be a failure because they think I'm going to do it for them. I'm not doing anything other than helping you to align with your prime objective, the way you want to feel, the life you want to live, and then I'm going to help you figure out how that works for you. I'm not going to tell you how I do it, right? I might share that, but I'm not going to say if you do 1, 2, and 3 because that's what I do, your life's going to be great. I'm going to say, let's look at your life. Let's look at a way that you can define what you value, how that's going to feel, and then let's begin to create very slowly because I believe all true change happens slowly. I say that you have to take that with a grain of salt. I understand there are 10% of potential like singer wake ups where people wake up and it changes everything, right? And those are amazing and wonderful and awe-inspiring. Just as awe-inspiring are the people who come in and know they've got a year or 2 to meet the goals that they want to meet. I am so inspired by humans who say, I don't even know how to get there, but I know I can get there and I'm willing to invest in myself and my life and let's do this. So I think you're very wise in that. And I think it goes along with everything we've been talking about today. Like you have to have self-worth. It's so funny. my Instagram post, Tom, you would think I put thought into them. I wake up, I'm in a space, I'm an inspiration. I've done my morning, boom, I get on there, I do it. Mine today was all about self-worth, self-value, self-care, right? So ultimately for me, and I think you and I would agree with what I'm about to say to you, there is no prime objective without self-care. There is no prime objective without self-worth, and there is no prime objective without discipline to self. None. So I love what you're saying. And it fits in any single segment you're working on. Whether it is a goal of finances, physical health, an educational goal, whatever a relationship goal,
Yep.
right? I mean, all of these things, unless you see that you can do it, which I also think vision is incredibly important. You have to have the feeling, you have to have the vision, right? And then you have to commit with your will and your intellect, right?
Having meaning in your life is everything. I mean, that's my 4 pillars model. Angela Joseph's with us, everybody, calling this one Live. And Angela, I'm going to carry this through. Nice. That was your third great rant of the day. And these are just unbelievably spot on. But what I just shared with Angela and with all of the listeners to the show, my model of the prime objective and how, it's just basically I just put a title on something that was in my head about stepping things back. You still have the goal, but you got to find the things that are really the key. Like Angela was saying with self-care, like with self-love, that you step it back, you get it backwards, take it backwards, because just this goal that you have is great and it's awesome. And if you set that, okay, now how are we going to implement this? Well, when you have a prime objective, and the prime objective can change, because once you hit that quick prime objective and you complete it, then you establish the next prime objective, but you're still moving forward. You never stop moving forward. That's the whole thing about what you're saying about doing the videos and your posts in the morning, just first thing. That's exactly how I do my videos in the morning, because fresh. I mean, most of them are like 5:30 in the morning. Before
Mine too.
before I go to the gym, I do these posts every day. And I made a commitment to myself, because 50% of that post is helping my internal dialogue of myself, especially after my dad passed. I needed a mechanism. So I kind of dedicated that thing to him. And then the other 50% is for the people that are receiving the message. And it might be, if it's just one person, greatness, good enough. I'm cool with it. I'm not setting any expectations for it. That's it. Straight up. Okay. Going to break. Live. AJ. Tom Mann Show. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, the prime is the prime. And it's like, we could go down this rabbit hole. I could tell you a couple of what I've learned about a couple of people that I'm working with. And I'm going to tell you where I want to go with this, just so you're kind of, because I think that the prime, what I found was talking to these people and then getting on a Zoom call, seeing their face and talking to them and stepping this backwards. That's how we got to the bottom. Where do we need to fix things first? And
Right.
You got to talk it through.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
Right.
You got to talk it through. And I think you need to see the person.
Oh my God, I agree. I tell you, that's half of my issue with this whole online world. And it's my own shit, right?
Yeah.
That I'm recognizing.
The Zoom is a good tool. You've used it a lot more than I have. I still am my face, you know me. Let's go. Hey, this is plug. I'm throwing it to you for you, whatever you want to do. Okay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know how to do this. Here we go. Welcome back to the Tom Mann Show, 5th segment, bonus segment, extra segment, podcast segment. Some of the stations are carrying it. They wanted it. They're getting it. Liv, Angela Joseph is with us. Boy, we're having a great conversation. There are so many in each of these segments that we're in the process of recording right now, you guys, this episode. Angela will go on at least 3, 4, 5 minute, just where I barely said anything. And 2 of them, one of them I said, I was going, yeah. And so you need to go listen to what she's saying, because this is we're at a very vulnerable time in the world, and her and I are like, we're lined up. And it's like, we want to help you get better. That's why we do this. So go listen to those, listen to the whole thing. Here's another way. Angela's going to share all her contact info for you. Get ready. Here it comes. AJ, how would you like people to connect with you?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I am reachable by website, angelaandjoseph.com. I am on Instagram at The Intuitive Lifestyle, and I am on Facebook at Angela and Joseph. You can email me at Angela and Joseph, and my phone number is 517-290-0697.
Here you go. All right. So we're talking about the prime objective goals, been all over the place, relationship with self. So now that we've got the prime kind of laid out, I did ask Angela during break. Okay, here's where I want to go with this because I want to make this clear for everyone. And I think it's so impactful that the prime objective in achieving these goals, you need to talk to someone. And Angela, why is that important with the face to face communication when you're getting people coached up in this kind of stuff? Let's talk about both the virtual, which is a great tool for sure, but the face to face in person is like the gold standard for self care when it comes to this kind of work. So you can start the whole process, email, text messaging, maybe, phone calls here and there. But really, if you want to get better, you got to get a hold of Angela and you got to do these things. So what do you think about that face to face? And it depends wherever people are at, could be they find a coach, could be they find a therapist, could be, because you and I both are huge mental health advocates, big time. So what do you think about all that?
Call me old fashioned. Face to face is where you really connect. You feel each other's energy. And as an intuit, I am an intuitive human. I can really feel where all of a sudden your energy will shift in a conversation. So I know there's been a trigger. I can then challenge it or not. But ultimately, if we take it off of why I think it is for myself, and if I look at why the client's going to benefit from a face to face, there's accountability, there's eye contact, right? And
Yep.
there's moments like you just said, we're like, I'm going to just leave this silent moment for a minute to let this set in, right? When I'm with a human, and let me tell you, because I have clients who may see this that I do Zoom with and that I am online with, and that's great. And it serves us because we can't be in person together. You're in
Right.
Florida, you're in Arizona, right? Like, okay. And I'm incredibly grateful that I'm trusted and they want to work with me, right? So from that vantage point, very
Sure.
grateful. But when we're in person, and I'm an intense coach too, like I'm going to call you on things. And I want to hold you accountable. And I want you to hold me accountable. And so I also think it's important to, especially, this is so interesting right now. One of the big things that I'm seeing with clients, especially younger, we're losing face-to-face ability to relate. People are no longer able to look in each other's eyes and have a conversation. They can't help but pick up their phone and want to scroll it and check to see what's going on. They can't help but insert their voice or their words because we have lost tact. We have lost the ability to sit and be intimate with another human and listen actively. One of my biggest pet peeves, and I probably sound militant on this with people in my own world, is people no longer listen. They're not listening. They are literally like they're scrolling social media and you're just talking and they're just putting in their thoughts. And okay, that's fine when you're into social settings and everybody's sharing, but when you're in conversations that matter, that are there to cultivate change, that are there to cultivate connection, that are there to cultivate an experience of feeling validated and heard, face to face cannot be beat because you're having to tune into. We need to teach people how to tune into people's body language again. We need to teach people how to tune into people's tone, right? And connect and let people be heard. You think half of what we're going through in the world right now isn't because people don't feel that there are spaces that hold them to be heard? I mean, we are literally right now in a space where we are giving more credit to an online connection and influence and validation than we are being held by people in our world who can look at us in the eyes, touch us and say, you know what? I I've been there, I have empathy, or I haven't been there, but I have compassion and touch, and just make it real, Tom, because so many people are suffering with mental health, and half of that is because they don't feel heard, they don't have connection, they're isolated, they're alone, right?
Yep.
So they don't hold value. So, a tangent off of what we're saying, but the face to face for me at the age I am, the generation, because now I'm an older generation, right? I'm looking at the youth and I'm worried. I'm worried about the ability to connect.
Here's my perspective on this whole thing. And this is where you're totally spot on. And this is why we have an obligation. And you and I are both this coming from the same place. When I work at the university and I'm at that gym and I'm over there doing my sharpening my saw, this semester, Angela, I have met more students this semester. I have a little book, an old black book that I write down workouts and notes and stuff. Instead of putting it
Sure.
in my phone, I write it down. I've had this book for like 15 years. It's tattered. I have got a page and a half of students already, and it's 1 month in. That's a really odd thing. That's how many students I have met. These students they want the contact. The ones
Good.
that want it, they are there. They need it. They want it. They're looking for it. They're getting past the COVID thing, and I'm really glad to see it. They're not all there. They'll never be all of them. But you know what? There's a lot more people out there that what I'm trying to say is we need to embrace what you're saying and help our young people develop these communication skills. And it's a trade-off. This is how when I appeal to our students and I tell them, you got to tell them how you really do admire they're so smart and the things that they do know, they know well and they're sharp.
Hmm.
So there's a trade-off. There's absolutely a benefit to both. And so, but Angela, what you're saying is we have an obligation, and through adversity grows opportunity, baby. And we got plenty of that. So please, we got a couple minutes to go before we got to wrap this bad boy. But would you please just finish it? The thought on all that, what I just
I
said.
could not agree with you more. And I'll even be honest with you, as autism begins to spike and we're starting to see more and more, and they're actually projecting out scientifically that as the time goes on, we're going to have more and more autistic births, which their brain and intellect is phenomenal when they are honored, cared for, and able to be in the right environment to be enriched, right? It's an amazing thing that we're beginning to learn about and understand more, where it's no longer a stigma, right? So as I think about I'm thinking about this younger generation that you're saying these kids are brilliant, and you're right, they are, Tom, and they're brilliant because their brains have been indulged and basically grown in a different soil than what yours and mine has been, right? If we just use soil in the way that the seed is grown of intellect, right? But there is no world that is going to thrive without human to human contact. It's not going to work. It won't happen. We will die off. And so we have to merge the two and bring back the ability to be able to sit with another human, right? And communicate, converse, and share to find. And then you want to go, I'm gonna blow this out right now, because I believe the division that's in the world right now is so sick, and people that are so divided don't understand that they're the problem. The division is the problem. So until we can begin to come and collaborate and say, okay, you think that, I think this, you feel that, I feel this, we're not bad people for having different experiences of this reality. But what we are is bad for the environment, bad for the collective, bad for humanity. We have got to get over ourselves and what we think or feel is right, and we need to come together and say, this is the planet Earth. There's 8 billion people on this planet. There's no way all of us are going to be the same, think the same, feel the same, look the same. There's no way. It's never going to happen. No one's asking that to happen. We have got to come off of this intellectual game everybody's in to think that everybody knows what's right up here. And this is one of my fundamentals with humans. And I coach a lot of intellectuals that come to me because they want to feel. You have got to take that intellectual and you've got to be able to feel. And to be able to feel, you have to be able to connect with other humans. To be able to intellectualize and make change, you have to have both happening. I think it's an absolute must that we get face to face, lessons back in, connections back in. I'm so grateful you're off there doing that.
You know what? It's all about emotional intelligence. It comes down to emotional intelligence. And if you can make that connection between what Angela Joseph just said, with that academic brain, with just brilliant people out there. But we're not all going to fundamentally line up. And the only way you learn is by having open discourse and conversation, not I'm on this side, you're on that side. I hate you, you hate me. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. What works is cooperation, collaboration, and community. Period. That
Respect for differences.
that's
Respect
it.
the
I
differences.
got to wrap this thing here, but I'll tell you what, again, we could go for 5 hours. If our show fits your business or group's mission, we want to be of service to you. You know how we do this thing. Sponsorships are available. You can hit us up. Go to the website. Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. That's my favorite thing to say at every show. Angela Joseph is the bomb. Angela, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tom. It's always such a pleasure.
Fun. Sandy, Craig, Brock, and of course, the legend, Mitch Anderson. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great week. Go out and ignite your life. Have a just amazing life. Tom Shows a production of Boomers Rock Media. We want to bring your story to life. Thank you so much for listening, viewing, doing all those things. We're out.
That was
Boom.
great.
It's fucking awesome. And if anybody gets offended when they watch the videos and they hear me dropping, it's totally emphasis. It's I'm being respectful as, and let me tell you, when I drop language and I talk to especially younger people, they understand it's a point of emphasis, and Angela does as well. It's nothing to be I'm not trying to insult anyone, but as a point of emphasis, we have got to step up our games. So that's that. And Angela, you did a great job as usual. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for having me as usual. This was a great one. I feel like we really were
Fun.
aligned and once again, just sharing what you and I experienced being out here in the world and a passion to propel the future forward and help people live a better life. You know, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a
You know,
blessing and a
I
curse.
get advice. I get advice, and we're recording this, and I'm going to be open and honest. I get advice from people, and they say, "Tom, you got to be really careful. You know, you better be coaching people. You got to be really careful because people might, you might get." And I'm like, listen, and I'm totally respectful of people saying that. You know what I mean? They're just like, because there's just so many frivolous bullshit things that happen,
I
and
fully agree.
I am not going to let that affect me whatsoever. I've told people at this point in my life, since my dad passed you guys in July of 2023, I realize that I'm the oldest now. My mortality is strictly right in front of me. And it's like, if I don't put my time in and do my thing and stay on top of my game, then I'm not giving myself best odds that I can to help bring you and continue to bring you this fire and brimstone with Angela Joseph and all of our other guests. So that's that. And I'm going to do what I feel is right and love people,
Yeah.
because there's not enough. I tell people all the time. I did a video on unconditional love. Unconditional love. We could do a whole show on that one, Angela, because I feel so strongly about that, where people don't hear that enough. And
I
I've
agree.
been learning that. And it's like, wait a second. I'm going to say that I love you in an unconditional way. That doesn't mean I'm expecting anything in return
Right.
whatsoever. I love your
Right.
soul. I love your energy. I love your just everything about you. Angela, I've told you I love you so many times. It's crazy. And it's a point of emphasis here, everybody. And that's the way it works. Okay. We got to be more open, because if we just open up our freaking souls and just let people in, let people help us, because when we help other people, it makes us better, period. And by the way, your video got better and better as the time went on. I think that with the light going down, you look.
I think it was because the light in
It's
it
just
was, if I ever do this again, I will move this. It's just there's a window and the sun
it's a weird angle. Yep.
sets in the west and it's
Yep.
literally right on the west side.
Yep. Yep. Do you want to add anything else to the video? Because I'm going to chop this thing up, and the
You
closing.
know, I think the only thing I would add is just how grateful I am when I connect with people and it just flows like that, because the people who are living a good life right now, Tom, that feel good, right? We all know what the answer is. And it's not that we have an answer intellectually, right?
Right.
We know that if people were filled with self-worth, self-value, self-awareness, and the ability to go out and project themselves and create a good life, this world wouldn't you wouldn't have any of the suffering. We wouldn't have any of the struggle, right? And so I just want to say how grateful I am. And tonight just felt really, really easy, as it always does. But it's a message I think right now that is so over. We need it so badly, right? And you have so many people out here who are afraid to, you know, fray the edge of anything.
That's where people, that's what I was saying, where I get advice from my people who really, really love me. And they're just saying, hey, be really careful. You know, you got a lot of good things going on. You got to be really careful. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. I get that. But what I'm doing is good. And
Yeah,
so, so if I put myself expose myself to something, so what? So fucking what? I'm
that's
not shutting
exactly how
myself
I
down to
feel.
other, I'm not shutting myself down. Like you say, when I receive the energy from people and I tell them and I say, I like your vibe. And you can tell we're both empaths. And it's like, I mean, it is what it is, period. And so I'm gonna keep doing this shit. I'm almost, when this airs, I'll be a year into my retirement 100%. And I have grown so much in the last year, confidence wise. It's doing this. I'm so confident with the messaging. It's like, I know. It's like I am so fucking down with it now, Angela. I mean, that's why it flew so good today, because our energy plays off of each other. And
Yep.
I told Michelle Pell, I trained Michelle on Friday. I hadn't seen her in a year and a half since all her shit went down. And I
Yeah.
told her, because I told her what I get for personal training sessions, you know, because I am expensive, because I'm very, you know, and that's that. And I get it. And I told her, and I wasn't trying to, you know, because I'm training her just because I love her. And she said, well, you know, I don't want to take advantage of it. Because I told her, I said, I want to see you at least once a month. And there's a great transfer of energy there. And I said, listen, I have always loved your vibe. I think you're an awesome human being. And I said, just think of me as like the Godfather. I may never come knock on the door. I may never come ask a favor, but someday I might. Someday,
Absolutely.
because
Boom.
you have a skill set. And it's like, you know what? When I have a big speaking engagement coming along or something, or I'm pulling together a team thing, we're just trying to pull some magic out of the hat, I may come to an Angela Joseph and say, hey, I need you for an event on this date. And, you know, and I've got to do it gratis because we're not making any money. And I know you'll do it.
Oh my gosh,
That's
absolutely.
fuck
Hands
yes.
down.
Fuck yeah. It's like, so doing these things, and it's
Part
Angela,
part of
so much,
abundance.
excuse me.
I was just going to say part of abundance and part of well-being and part of feeling healthy is having energy to give,
Yeah.
right? And,
Yeah.
and it's because you hold it
Are
as
you
a
going to sit on it?
container.
Are you going to
You
sit on it or help people?
right,
What
right,
the fuck?
right.
Come
And
on.
and it's the whole thing. I don't go looking to be
Right.
anything. I just, I take care of myself. And if an opportunity presents like that, I'm saying right now, right here, absolutely, I'd be there. You know what? I mean, I absolutely.
There's just
I
so much,
don't do what
there's so
I
much
do.
fear. There's so much fear out there that the people who give me advice and say, well, you gotta be, you know, and I'm just, but they mean
Can I?
well. They
I
mean
want to
well.
say something to you saying that. I'm over this word inclusive. I think that when you put a word out like inclusive, you're absolutely donating to exclusion. It's like people are so unconscious right now of the verbiage and the way that we're creating these
Media is manipulating
isolated.
a lot of people. And that's why, again, I'm feeling so strong about our messaging and what we do, you and I, and all other guests that are on this program is a gift. And I'm at the point now where I know we're so close to breakout time, even though we're starting our 13th season here in another couple weeks.
I
It's
love
like,
her.
you know what? It's time. And we're gonna go, because the world needs us all. And this vehicle that we have, because we own the copyright and because we control all the freaking money, we pay for everything. It's like that's the best way to do it, because I'm not beholden to anybody. My sponsors are great. They get their money's worth. They've been doing it for years. And it's like, great. I'm very selective with that kind of stuff. and it's just time to, we're spending some money on some marketing and some advertising, and we're going to blow up, and it's coming. And I'm telling you, get ready, because it's fucking coming.
Tom, you've had this vision and mindset for years,
Here.
and it's absolutely promised to you. And you are an example of what a committed, disciplined vision, feeling, and prime objective are.
Thank you. That's why I totally believe in it. If people want to poke,
Absolutely.
let them fucking poke. I don't care. It's like I told Luana Simon this when we had a meeting, a lunch or a dinner. It's like, at this point in my life, everything I talk about it's all relatable from my past. And so it's like all of these events people can poke all they want. That's fine, because I'm speaking truth. And it's like when you speak truth, there's no problem. I mean, it's like, just
Totally agree.
speak the fucking truth.
Yeah.
And then people, you walk around with integrity. And it's like, I'm not worried about, that's the thing where people say, you gotta be so careful. Why do I have to be careful if I roll with truth 100%? And it's
Oh
like,
my God.
my heart's in the right place.
And the other thing I would say to that too, because I have conversations like this all the time. Here's my thing. You want me to accept your truth, you accept mine.
Exactly.
Okay. And
Yeah.
again, like that's not an either or. It's just an and,
Right.
right? At this point, there's a progression of humanity that's evolving. Great. Okay. But that doesn't make me any less relevant because of who I am and how I live my life. I also don't feel a need to go out there and ask for validation from everybody. So I don't expect to be picked apart, criticized, and put on a slaughter box if you don't think what I'm doing is right. Guess what? Half of this world that I watch, I don't necessarily agree with what they're doing, but I have no judgment on it. It's not for me to be able to look at it and go, "Oh my gosh, what's for me is what's for me."
Yeah.
And I
I'm
just
happy
ask that
for,
you
I'm happy
respect
for
that.
whoever. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I respect you and I respect what's right for you. Don't make
Exactly.
me part of that if you don't need me to be a part of that.
Envy can't be part of the whole equation, because jealousy and envy, I'm happy
Exactly.
for people's success. I want people to be successful. That's why I work with students all the time about networking and ideas and what are you doing, and asking questions. And when you ask them the questions and you break through the barrier and you see them that they really know that you care, it's like a fucking lightning bolt. And it's like, I wish more people, and the only way more people are going to know about this, it's like us doing our shows with the students and the Generation Us stuff, and doing shows with you. It's all about what you were talking about with communication, face-to-face communication, radio.
Exactly.
It's all about communication. It's all about listening. As you said, you got,
Right.
the thing is the listening skills. Listening is a big skill. And I still work at it all the time.
Me
And
too.
I have Sandy as my rudder to keep me fucking straight. And she'll say, "You're not listening to me again." And she's probably right. And because I'm thinking about something else, and it's like, I don't mean any offense,
You're a
but
Gemini
it,
too.
exactly. I'm a Gemini. And so it's like, so anyways, I got to do some promo. I got to do some production work, and then I got to go have some dinner. Awesome fucking show. I mean,
Yeah, Tom,
all of this
always.
is recorded. I think this closing segment, which is now about 10 or 12 minutes long, is going to be so fucking good. I will definitely be cutting this out, everybody. I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to Angela, I'm talking to everybody. Because that's why we're doing this. And I really enjoy doing the video now. At first I didn't know what the hell we were going to do with it, but now it's like, it gives us a chance to expand our voice a little bit, to really emphasize what the fuck we're talking about here. Pardon my language again, but I'm using it for emphasis. We have got to get real here. And if we don't get real with people like Angela, our show, our stuff, and you continue to take in this, whatever this medicine that's been dribbled out over, social media, over news, and some of it's good. I'm
Oh,
not,
yeah.
some of it, you just got to have a discerning mind, and take it in
Yeah.
different channels, everybody.
Yeah,
Don't
I
just
fully
listen to my
agree.
stuff. Take it so you can make an informed decision. That's what education is all about. Making an informed decision is being able to have a conversation about things. And that's what I've always wanted to do with the radio show, Angela. That's why I love having you on, because you're so articulate that's why when you hear these segments of yours, in the first two, I didn't talk not one word, not one noise, not one nothing. And you know how rare that is.
Well, and thank you then. I'm glad that I got your
You're
attention and you
solid.
were there with me. I will say one last thing if you're chopping this up, because I think this is very important for people to hear right now. I
Okay.
really do. And I don't care what your faith is, what you believe in, right? At the end of the day, Tom, at the end of the day, we are all the exact same spark of energy that came from the exact same space. We're not defined by the color of our skin. We are not defined by the sexual preferences we have. We are not defined by the city we live in. We are not defined by the shape of our body. We are not defined by the color of our eyes. We are defined by the way that we present this beautiful energy of being a soul that is choosing to come into this human existence and to live. And for me, I'm here to cultivate a peaceful, prosperous, good life. And if I can help people figure that out in a time when not everybody's there, I feel fantastic. Like you said, if I help one person, if I help 10 people, if I just live it myself, right? All of that adds up to a life of purpose to me. At the end of the day, though, Tom, I cannot express enough. People have forgotten the fundamental truth that we are all one. The animal that we look at has the same spark of life and energy that I hold, that you hold. Everything, the car, the rock, the tree, the mushrooms, all of it. It's all the same amount of energy. So
Yep.
the fact that we're in this divisive energy right now, and you and I can talk about this and feel so good about it, shows somewhere we've turned the wrong corner. And like you said, adversity will always lead us to opportunity of growth. I am holding strong and steadfast in my faith in humanity, in my faith in the divine, and in my faith in the cycle of this reality,
Yep.
that we are going to come back stronger and better than ever.
No question about it. I 100% agree. But we've got, and that thing, again, through adversity grows opportunity. And I just look at it that way. And it's like, bring it. Let's go. I'm not gonna worry about jack shit. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna fucking do it. My schedule is very tight. I set my timelines. I work for myself. I love my work. I love what we're doing. I earned the opportunity to do this full time, you guys. So when I do my long ass gym sets, it's because I want to be sharp for you. I want to be sharp for me. I want to be sharp for everybody that's out there. And the only way I know how to do this is how I'm doing it, because that works for me. Whatever works for you to help make you sharper, fucking go for it. Do it. Stop fucking whining and watch my hashtag dad talks in the morning, you guys. Watch the hashtag dad talks in the morning, either on Instagram, on Facebook, or on TikTok. I don't typically put them up on YouTube too much. That's kind of different content over there, but they're up there on those other three. And a lot of people are watching those things. And I'm telling you, if you got inspiration and you got an idea, you want me to rant on something, believe me, I don't have any, like Angela was saying earlier in the show, in the episode, I do those early morning. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about until I get going. And it's like, I got a few notes in my phone or I think of something, right. It's all spontaneous, and that is the truth. Boom. Because we need to put positive energy back into the universe. It's all about energy.
Boom.
Done.
Boom.
All right. Love you.
Love you, my friend.
Okay. See you, baby.
See you.
Thank you so much. It was awesome. Thank you. Love you. You're so great.
I love you.
Okay. I'm going to continue recording his thing as soon as Angela drops off so I can do a couple closing thoughts. And it was absolutely fantastic the way it all came down. And you cannot beat Angela Joseph. She is pure. She is honest. She is the real fucking deal. And again, I'm not going to say I'm sorry about cursing anymore, because really it's a point of emphasis. And I think you guys know where I'm coming from, and it's all real. So let's get busy. All right. Help other people. That's my mantra. Help other people. You help other people, the world gets better. Period. That's it. It's not that hard. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, do all those things. You know the drill. Look at us in the mornings. I'm Tom Matt, and I'm out. Love y'all. Peace out.